We're going to build a custom weightlifting tracking application using no code, no downloads. It's going to run on any smartphone, and you're going to be able to update it all using Google Spreadsheets. Let's get started. From the user's home screen, the app looks just like that purple icon you can see in the center of the screen. Once they click on it, it loads a single one-page app that looks like this. It has the place to select the student's name. If you only had yourself doing this application, you wouldn't need it. It has a place to select the exercise. These exercises, again, are customizable. They're the exercises in our strength and conditioning program. Obviously, yours would be different. It has a place to enter sets, reps, weight, and then the student presses submit. Once that happens, there's another place for submit another response. So as they move through their workout, they're going to be selecting the exercises that are given and entering their lifts that way. Here's the Google spreadsheet with the data that's collected automatically from my application. So as the students lift and enter their sets, their reps, their weight, it's automatically tracked underneath the name that they select, and it's time-stamped with the time the lift is done. Obviously, that means I can then use this data base to create, target weights that they should be lifting on particular days or in particular training phases. I can take later on, I'm going to use it to enter 3-rep max and 1-rep maxes once they're a little bit more advanced. When I coach track, I can use it to keep track of workouts and delineate workout groups based on different criteria. So the potential is there depending on what you're doing. Again, I'm teaching a fairly large strength and conditioning class with a bunch of PE students, so a little bit different in terms of my goals than, for example, someone who's a personal trainer and has a bunch of different clients. Here's what the weightlifting data looks like for each of the individual students. So this separates the data out just for this particular student's lifts, for his sets, for his repetitions, for the weight that he did at those number of repetitions, as well as a timestamp for him. This is useful for my students that are trying to track their progress because I don't want them to necessarily have access to the master list. I just want to be able to control that, but I do want them to be able to see their individual lifts. Okay, here's how I can operate the app. This is the sheet where to add a student to it, I simply just add a name there. And if I want to add an exercise, for example, I just added Bulgarian split squats because we were teaching those newly, and so I added them as a lift option, and I just add it simply into that column, and it adds to the student view of the lift program, and they can then select it, and it can be logged and all that. And that's the basic functionality of the app. If you want to see how to build it, go ahead and click the video that should be suggested here that will then talk about the details of how I built it. But that's just to prove to you that, yes, you can do it using just Google Sheets, just Google Forms, and no complicated coding, just a couple copy and paste formulas and one add-on. Quick note, if you like my video and want more people to see it, click subscribe.